Ahoy hoy! I want to talk about my two favorite parasites today. It's sort of weird to have favorite parasites, but it's also weird to want to hear about them. So here we are. The first parasite is an adorable little guy that lives in a fish's mouth. Just imagine you are an innocent fish, swimming along, and then a little water louse, sort of like a little water bug, swims through your gills into your mouth. We're making friends, this is nice. Then the little louse clamps onto your fishy tongue, okay, and using its sharp claws cuts off the blood supply to your tongue. This kills the tongue, and so it falls off. Well, now, there's all this room in your little fish mouth, so why doesn't the little louse just take the place of your tongue and just live there while holding onto the tongue stump, sucking your fishy blood? This is the grand life of the aptly named tongue-eating louse. It would be like if someone broke into your home, threw your refrigerator out, pretended to be the fridge, and then just used up a quarter of your electricity. Also, your fridge now looks like a creepy water bug. Hey, didn't I used to have more room in here for juice and eggs? Did my fridge always have claws and little legs? Insert food in me. I am fridge. Okay. Here's a 10-pound jar of salsa I bought from Costco. You'd think the fish would have to know something is going on since there's a little guy moving around in their mouths. But they can't do anything about it. It's not like they can use their tongues to push the louse out. The louse is their tongue now. No more fishy French kissing. No more tasting strawberry ice cream. No more grooming the long fur between their legs. Sad. At least they can't burn their tongues on hot soup anymore. Parasite number 2 is probably the most hardcore parasite in this list of 2. It isn't even an animal. It isn't a bacteria. It's a fungus. Like a little mushroom. The zombie ant fungus, or by its Latin name, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, infects carpenter ants and eventually takes over their minds. But the details make it sound even more insane. The fungus's spores first bore into the ant's exoskeleton with its little hyphae, threads. Now its cells can spread all the way to the ant's brain. The fungus secretes chemicals to take over the ant's brain, which make the ant start acting how the fungus wants. The carpenter ants usually live high up in the tropical forest, in the canopy, so the top branches of the trees. But the fungus reproduces best about a foot off the ground, really specifically 25 to 26 centimeters off the ground. So that fungus gotta drop down somehow. To do this, the fungus makes the ants start to walk in random directions. It's really hard not to fall down when you're just walking in random directions. It's like when you're drunk and you try to go to the toilet, but you just end up in the bathtub and sleeping in your own filth. So maybe walking in random directions isn't enough to bring that body down to the dance floor. In that case, the fungus also makes the ant have random full-body convulsions. That'll definitely make their booties quake. Or more accurately, make their whole body shake so they fall to the forest floor. Oh my god, look at Donna. She's just tearing up the dance floor. This really looks like some sort of seizure disorder. Shouldn't we call a doctor? No, Becky, come on. It's called the volcanic eruption. Interestingly, it's not just one ant doing this. There are a bunch of them doing this. I suppose also like a dance floor. But then, when the sun is straight ahead, the ants, almost in sync, change from random walking and quivering to climbing. They start to climb up the stem of a plant and use their mighty mandibles to chomp themselves super tightly to the underside of a leaf or branch. This chompage happens at the exact right height, humidity, and temperature the fungus needs to reproduce. A very picky parasite. Once the mandibles of the ant are clamped to the leaf, the muscles in its jaw start to wither away. So the ant can no longer open its jaw and is just stuck, attached, hanging on the leaf. Scientists call this the death grip. You can insert your own jokes here. So the fungus isn't done yet. When the fungus is ready to reproduce, its little mushroom grows from the ant's head and pops, releasing the spores, beginning the cycle again. It's almost beautiful except for the enslaving and killing the ant part of it. It's weird to think about the idea that a non-thinking organism could want an animal to do something. It's not like plants want people to smoke them and then eat a bunch of cookies. Or do they? Think about it, man. Anyways, that's all I have for now. Thanks for hanging around. Ta-ta for now.